guys, I know that you're probably looking at this desert food web activity and probably a little confused. So I'm going to try to explain it to you. First off, if you have a printer, I would print page 3. And if you want to print page 2, go ahead and print page 2. If you do not have a printer, I'm just going to tell you to write the words of the animals on a piece of paper that kind of looks like this. So basically what you're going to do is you are going to be creating a food web for all these desert animals. Okay, so if you guys are looking at, sorry, I'm going all over the place. If you guys are looking at this chart right here, I would go from animal to animal and start writing them on a piece of paper. You might want to do this in pencil in case you have to erase or do a rough draft and then rewrite it. So I'm looking at badger first. And the badger, this is what it eats. It eats 3 different things. It eats snakes, squirrels, small coyotes, and insects. So what I did was I wrote the word badger. Hopefully you can see this. I wrote the word badger, and then I wrote down the 3 things that it eats. So I drew arrows from the small reptiles, the squirrels, and the snakes going towards the badger because that's what the badger eats. Now, if we look at this list, the badger is eaten by the coyote. So what I would do here is draw an arrow from the badger going into the word coyote. So if you do not have a printer, I'd like for you to just write the words out, okay? The next group is the bat. The bat eats insects, and the bat isn't eaten by anything. So the bat is the top of its food chain. So I wrote the word insects, an arrow going to the bats, and then there's no arrow coming off of the bats because the bat doesn't eat anything. All right, so I have the coyote up here. Hopefully you can see that. The coyote eats badgers, pronghorns, and small reptiles. So I already have the word small reptile here, and I already have badger here. So badger's already done. Now I just have to draw an arrow from small reptiles to coyote. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so see how I do that? Hopefully you can see that. Okay, and then the other thing on that list is the pronghorn, which is the thing that sort of looks like an antelope. So I'm going to add the pronghorn over here. And draw an arrow from the pronghorn to the coyote. Okay, so that's those 3. Then you're going to go down to the insects. Insects are already on my list, so you don't have to write it again. The insects eat sagebrush and prickly pear cactus. So I'm going to write those words down here. Sage, brush, and prickly pear cactus. And I draw an arrow from the sagebrush and the prickly pear cactus to the insects. Now, other things eat the sagebrush and the prickly pear cactus, I believe. Let's see, what else eats it? The pronghorn also eats it. So this is where it gets kind of confusing. You might want to get a different color pen now. I happen to have a green marker over there. Let me go grab it real fast. Actually, I'm going to do the brown one instead. All right, so for the pronghorn, it also eats the sagebrush and the prickly pear cactus. So I'm going to draw another arrow. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. I don't want to do the whole thing for you, but I want you to kind of see what you can do. So if you don't have a printer, just write the words, draw the arrows. I would suggest different color markers. And you might have to do this a couple of times to get it all down straight. Okay. When you're done doing this, then you're going to answer the questions at the end. Take a picture of it and insert this into the Google Doc or attach it on Google Classroom. All right. That's one way you can do it. The other way you can do it is by cutting out the pictures and taping them and drawing the arrows. So I have the sagebrush and the prickly pear cactus down here. This is the prickly pear cactus, this is the sagebrush. These are the insects. So remember we said that insects are eaten by the bat. So that's why the arrow is facing that way. But also the insects eat the sagebrush and they eat the prickly pear cactus. So I have to draw those arrows there. I almost wish I had a little bit bigger piece of paper. So I have that there. I have the coyote up here because the coyote eats the badger. But remember, the coyote also eats small reptiles. So I'm going to draw, so the coyote eats the badger. The coyote eats small reptiles. And then the coyote also, so I drew 2 arrows there. The coyote also eats the pronghorn. I didn't cut that out yet. I also suggest, I've seen students when they've done this, they cut all the pictures out at first and then they lose them. So cut them out as you need them, because don't cut them all out in the beginning, because if you decide to take a break or you have a cat or something at home or a little brother or sister, you might lose it. All right. So I'm taping my pronghorn down. There you go. And then I'm going to draw an arrow from the pronghorn to the coyote. Okay. Now remember, the pronghorn eats the sagebrush and the prickly pear cactus. So I'm going to draw an arrow from them too. I probably should have used a 3rd color for that. Okay, I'm not finished. There's lines all over the place. This is why I'm going to suggest using multiple color pens and pencils and markers. Okay, I'm going to do another one and finish it, and then post my completed picture on Google Classroom in about 20 minutes or so. So this is basically where I am right now. Okay, hopefully that helps. Make sure the arrows are in the right direction. Use multiple colors, and I'm going to stop there.